All right, in this section, we are going to look at the tangent function. And we're going to look at the graph of the tangent function. And the tangent function actually comes from a relationship between the sine and the cosine graph. So if we think of sine as opposite over hypotenuse and the cosine as adjacent over hypotenuse, we know the tangent is equal to the opposite over adjacent. Now, looking at these fractions here, how could you get opposite over adjacent? How could you get the tangent out of the sine and the cosine graphs? Okay, well, we got O over H, A over H. Well, wouldn't it be great if those H's could cancel and you could make a fraction out of the O over the A? Well, what would have to happen for H's to cancel? You would have to have one H in the numerator, one H in the denominator. Now, how could you get this fraction to flip upside down so the A was in the denominator and H was in the numerator? Well, when do you flip a fraction? You flip a fraction when you divide. So, if we took the sine graph and we divided it by the cosine graph, you would have to take your sine and multiply by the reciprocal, which would be H over A. These would cancel and you'd be left with O over H, okay? Which is the tangent graph. So this is the sine divided by the cosine. So you take sine divided by the cosine, this equals the tangent, okay? So that's what we're going to actually do in this example. We're going to actually show how to get the tangent graph from the sine and cosine graphs by dividing the sine graph by the cosine graph. Okay?